Episode something. 11?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I think 11. I don't know. We are sharing stories about our jobs due to unforeseen circumstances involving my phone drowning. Yep, that was the exact sound effect.
Yeah.
So
there.
it's just me and Blake today talking about jobs and crazy things that have happened in the job world.
In the job world.
In the job world. Okay.
I think they got jobbies who just grow on job trees. That's just gonna stay there, I guess.
I was just talking to my dad earlier, and he was on a chat for my phone. He was on a chat with Sprint, like an associate online. He's like, I was talking to someone in the chat world or wherever they are, maybe the cloud.
The chat world.
I was like, oh, Dad.
That's like when my grandparents say, the Google.
Of course, the Google. It's a proper
Noun.
and verb. Proper verb?
Non-proper verb. Inappropriate noun. I don't know.
Anyway, I don't really know where to begin here.
Well, I mean, you might as well start off with the story that has happened most recently, i.e. yesterday.
I.e. my phone.
RIP.
Well, I just got a job lifeguarding, and one of the things we're supposed to do is clean the tiles on the side of the pool. For those of you who have seen, like, an indoor pool, you know, there's usually, like, nice tiles going around the edges. So that's what we're supposed to do throughout the day, and there was a gap after lunch for about 2.5 hours where literally no one showed up. So I read Anna Kendrick's book, Scrappy Little Nobody. Very funny. Highly recommend. It's a 5 out of 7. So
Perfect score.
yep. But I was reading that, and then every hour we have to test the chemicals. So I was doing that, and then I was like, all right, instead of reading for another hour, let me clean. So when someone walks in, it looks like I'm doing something, and it's also something I can just stop. Like, I can stop wherever I am and let people swim and stuff, and then once they leave, continue. So I literally got all the way around. We have steps on the one side, like a normal in-ground pool, and then it's just a rectangle. So I literally got all the way around, but my knees were starting to hurt because I was
Old.
I was sitting. Yes, I'm also old. At 24. And,
You young whippersnappers, get off my lawn!
And my knees were starting to hurt because I was like leaning on them as I was scrubbing the side. So I decided to squat, and it was 3 feet where I am, and I lost my balance. I started to fall forward, then I fell backwards, and I fell forwards again. And I was like, I'll just jump into the pool because it's only 3 feet. I forgot my phone was in my pocket. I also had the hotel key card in my pocket. Luckily, that survived.
Just like a
like
credit card?
Yeah.
Oh, those things stand the test of time. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And so, yeah, my feet went up to about my waist, and I got out immediately. I was like I said, I was right by the stairs. I walked out immediately, and then I was like, crap, my phone's in my pocket, and I tried to dry it as best I could, but I was also at work lifeguarding by myself, so I couldn't really, like, leave or have someone cover for me real quick. So tried to dry my phone there, it didn't work, put it in some stuff, and whatever that stuff was. And,
Magic.
Yeah, magic. Magic beans.
Yup. Magic beans.
Sorry, I was just into the woods, so I have a fairy tale mind right now. Anyway, so to clock in and out, it's over the phone, and we also have a system at my job where you have to call on half an hour ahead of time to let them know you're on your way, and you use your cell phone. Well, most people do because
It's
cell phones.
2017.
Yeah. So I went in today to the office. The office is literally on the way to the pool I work at from my apartment. Stopped in at 8:15 and was like, hey, like, I don't have a phone right now. And my manager's like, oh, what happened to it? I was like, water damage. And he's like, from the pool? I was like, yeah. He's like, on your first day? I was like, yeah. So he was like, well, you still got plenty of time to get there. And I was like, yeah, but I wanted to let you know that I was on my way and that I don't have a phone and yada, yada, yada. He's like, okay, well, thanks, and we'll just contact through email from now on. And now I don't have a phone.
Moral of the story, get a life proof. Or
Or
something
don't
similar.
squat while you're cleaning pool tiles.
Or don't have your phone in your pocket while you're lifeguarding.
Well, see, this was like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I had no reason to get in the water with my phone in my pocket. So I just had it in my pocket. Because habit.
Yeah. Damn you, 2017. Well, perfect
So,
time
yeah.
to upgrade to an S8
Yeah.
waterproof.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I actually don't know.
I could just buy a new, get S6 Edge for the next 2 months and then upgrade. I don't know how my upgrade's going to work now. I was scheduled for an upgrade in July.
That's so close.
Yeah, so,
So close.
yep.
Almost made it. R.I.P. little buddy.
So that's one job story.
Yeah. I have a few. I think the majority of our stories are probably going to come from the restaurant. Only because, wow.
People are stupid.
Yeah.
Working,
People are really stupid.
Working in a restaurant taught me that.
Yeah.
As a teacher, I learned kids are stupid, but they're adorably stupid because they just
And
don't know
they
any
also
better.
haven't learned yet,
Yeah,
you know?
but like 40-something-year-olds are also still stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it just blows my mind every time. So I think my most standout story from serving was, it was I want to say relatively early in my serving career. So I was like about 6 to 8 months into it.
That's early.
That's kind
I
of
only lasted 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, comparative
I had a
to my
baby in the time. I could have had a baby.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Peach tea frog.
All right. So it was relatively, but it was like, I'm saying it was like 6 to 8 months only because I kind of have to establish a baseline that my managers or the managers trusted me at this point in time with taking a large party by myself. It was about a 30 or 40 person
Party story.
that I was taking by myself, and it was in this thing called the Bullpen. And for anyone who's not around this area, which is probably all of you, or none of you,
well,
depending.
we do have a listener in Cuba, so no, Guam.
Yeah,
Yep, not Cuba.
yeah.
Maybe we have a listener in Cuba. I don't know.
Shout outs to you, Cuba
Like,
guy.
Cuba guy.
Cool with the cigars and stuff. So I basically was taking this large party by myself in the Bullpen, and this Bullpen is like a somewhat no, how do I use that word? That's a horrible word to use. A somewhat like secluded area away from.
Secluded. That's a better word that starts with SE to use.
It's like it's part of the restaurant, but like there's a large glass divider.
Yeah, it's like a private area.
But kind of, because it's still completely open. You know, like you can still walk into it if you weren't part of that party or anything like that.
Yeah.
It would just be awkward. But
I was gonna
yeah.
ruin all the fun.
Yeah. But it also is like the entrance area towards like the bathrooms. So like it's an open-ish area, and like there's also not glass all the way to the ceiling too. So like noise escapes it. It's just kind of off to the side and semi-enclosed. Anyway, it fits a large amount of people. And it was I think it was a birthday party of some sort. Like someone's 18th birthday party. Or maybe
that's where I go, where I have my 18th birthday.
Yeah. Well, I did
the local sports bar.
I did a fucking 21st birthday. That girl was so... it's another story.
I remember that.
So, I don't exactly remember what it was for. I think it was a birthday party, but it doesn't really matter. There was a lot of people, and it was just me on the party. And it wasn't one of those... Actually, it was a typical party for you server and wait staff friends out there, where no one comes in all at the same time. It's the most staggered shit. It's like, one family every 15 to 20 minutes through the entire time that they have the things booked, up until the last 5 minutes. So there was people staggering in. Not people. There was groups of people staggering in throughout this entire time. So it wasn't easy for me to get everyone's drink orders at the same time, then everyone's appetizers, then entrees, desserts, and then everyone leaves. It was, drinks, some entrees, some appetizers. New people came in, new drinks, new appetizers, new entrees, all that stuff. So it was these 4 guys, mid-20s, I would say. Mid to late 20s. And basically how I did it when it comes to parties is it would be like a per table basis. They'd either pay all together as one table, or if I was feeling generous, I could separate the checks per table. But usually I would do it by table. But since these guys came in separate from everyone else, and there wasn't anybody who was rushing me to get anything, and it was new families or anything like that, it was kind of spaced out. I was like, okay, cool. I'll do separate check for these guys right off the beginning, so I know that they're all doing it, instead of me at the end having to split the checks and not know who got what or whatever. So I asked the guys, I was like, all right, cool. So we're doing separate checks, and they were like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll take your name down, I'll take your order, and then we can work our way from there. So I asked the first guy what his name was and what he wanted to drink. His name was Jeremy or some shit, and he ordered whatever, doesn't fucking matter. I think everyone got waters, honestly.
Sounds about right.
I asked the second guy, I was like, all right, dude, what's your name? And he was like, oh, my name's Todd, whatever. Okay. I asked the third guy what his name was. He says Frank. His name was Frank. And then I asked the fourth guy, I was like, all right, man, last but not least, what's your name? I can take your order and stuff like that. He's like, he paused for 5 seconds, made eye contact with the other 3 dudes with him, and he turned to me, looked me dead in my eyes, and said, you can call me Raw Nasty. I'm like, dude, I'm not writing that down. I'm sorry. What's your name? He's like, nah, man, just call me Raw Nasty. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing that, dude. I'm not going to call you Raw Nasty, and I'm not writing that down either. And he's like, no. You can call me Raw Nasty. Don't worry about it. I was like, all right, dude, I'm not arguing with you, Raw Nasty. I wrote your name down. They ended up ordering, so basically, with our wings, it was 6, 12, 18, or 48 was our counts. They ordered 3 orders of 48 count wings between the 4 guys, okay? And I think that some of them got lemonade at some point or something like that, and they might have gotten a thing of cheese fries or something like that. So I ended up getting them all of their wings. I put their food out, and the wings are $50 a piece for the 48 wings.
Oh, yeah.
Not
$50 a wing.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I was like, that's a weird way to phrase it. Yeah.
So there's their check is $150, give or take. It might have been a little bit less than that, but they ask for to-go boxes, because obviously 4 dudes can't finish 150 wings in a reasonable amount of time, really. And I came back, and I was like, okay, you guys all want your checks as well? And they're like, yeah, mine as well. So I leave to go get their checks for them. I come back, dudes are gone. I should have known.
Should have had the checks ready as soon as I asked for a box.
Yeah,
print the check.
I should have. But again, relatively new, but old enough that they trusted me with a large group of people. And mind you, this entire time I was taking care of 35 other people or whatever. So they weren't my only table that was there. But I should have known. As soon as he said raw nasty, I was like, these guys are gonna walk out on me. There's no way they're paying this $150 bill. 4 mid-20-year-old guys, and one of them's named Raw Nasty. He's not giving me his real name. Obviously, he doesn't want to get caught. But, naive or whatever.
People are stupid.
Yeah. Back to you, Tim.
Oh, thanks for the weather, Blake. Oh, man. I don't know.
I think some of your, I don't want to give it away, but your cheeseburger stories are kind of funny.
Okay, so yeah, this will be
You got 2 of them.
There'll be too many. They'll be like sliders. Because burger analogy.
Wow!
Blake just reached a 9.7 on the Idris meter.
God.
Blake is currently gung-fuing. He has reached that point.
I'm asymptoting towards Idris Elba.
Anyway, so I'll start with the one that has a little bit of defense because he spoke broken English. Basically, there was a baseball team that came in and they took up an entire wall of booths. This is the same restaurant, by the way. And 4 of us split it, so we each had 2 booths or something. And it was like a baseball team. They just had a tournament or something. So it was literally one parent at the table would take care of the entire table, and they were fitting in 6 or sometimes 7 people in a booth. And so they're 12, 13-year-olds. And I went around the table, and they all got burgers because they're all teenage boys. And I'm going down the table. This wasn't the first kid. This was actually the last kid I asked. I was going down the table. I was like, okay, what do you guys want? And they said some variation of burger. And my follow-up question is immediately, how do you want that cooked? And they all said, well, the majority of them said well done. I think one kid said medium. But, it was down the line that I was asking this question. And I get to the last kid at the end, and he ordered a burger. I think it was just, a regular cheeseburger. I don't think it was anything special. And I looked at him, I was like, so how do you want it cooked? And he's just like, nice. And I was like, I acted like I didn't hear him. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And he's like, nice. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I was like, I can't cook a burger nice.
Now, for those of you who can't see Tim right now, which is everyone except me, there's a hand gesture involved.
There is a hand gesture
with this. And now, take your hand and do the snake or the crane, whatever pose, right? And then picture a baseball player sliding into first,
just sliding your hand across.
Yeah,
you're dealing with a mob boss.
Yeah,
and you just or a drug dealer or somebody, and you just slid the thing across.
Not that we know what either of those people.
I watch enough Breaking Bad to know what drug dealers look like, and Better Call Saul, and that is the extent of my drug dealing.
And my bosses.
Hey man,
Scarface. All right.
Yeah, Scarface counts.
We got it. And Godfather.
Anyway, so yeah, he made the sliding motion with his hand, and I looked at the dad who was seated 3 people down. I was like, what does he mean? And he's like, just make it well done. I was like, all right, but that's a risk, because if he wants it medium, then
he's gonna be really disappointed, because that's not nice.
The kid literally told me that. Anyway, so the second person involving burgers,
this was within a week of each other, by the way. I think these 2 stories,
my entire 9-month service is just
been compressed into one.
I don't remember when was what. Anyway, so it was a mom and a kid. Kid was 10-ish, younger, and the mom was I don't know, 30-ish, and so they The kid ordered a bacon cheeseburger. Well, bacon cheddar burger is what it's called on the menu. And he said that out. He said bacon cheeseburger. I was like, the bacon cheddar burger? He's like, yeah. And then I was like, how do you want it cooked? And I think he said, well done. But then the mom, like, looked at me and was like, does that burger come with cheese on it? And it took me a second. And I went full teacher mode when a student asks a stupid question. And you just take a second to not flip out on them. And then I was like, yes. She was like, oh, okay, good. I was like, the bacon cheddar burger does come with cheese on it.
Mm-hmm.
Also comes with bacon on it, and it also comes with a burger, in case you were curious. Bacon cheddar burger.
Now, conversely, on my side, I also had something very similar to this. More similar to his first story. It was like 3 guys who came in late night, again, late 20s, maybe. And this was when I was bartending. And it was like 11:45, and our kitchen closed in 15 more minutes, right? Or well, the whole restaurant closed in 15 minutes. Little caveat, if a place closes in like 30 minutes and it's not Chipotle, leave. Do not, unless it's for like a quick drink and then you're out, do not do that to anyone working at a restaurant. You are the worst human being ever. Especially if you're fucking waiting around the entire time and then you stay after you're fucking, we're closed and you haven't closed out your check. At least close out your check if you're going to be there after we're closed.
Numerous times I have put a check on the table at 12:01 and I was like, here's your check, guys. They didn't ask for it. No, I was just like, we're closed. Here's your check. It still took them like an hour to pay, and I was just like...
Yeah. And if there was a football game on, we actually weren't allowed to close, so we couldn't even like force them to leave as long as the game was still on. That was a dumb rule.
One game went into overtime. I remember. Well, I mean, I was already clocked out, but I was waiting on Blake. And, yeah, game went into overtime, and the guy stayed.
Mm-hmm.
I think he left like halfway through overtime, though. He
doesn't matter, still stayed.
But still, yeah. Because, like, the end of the game...
It's like 12:45 by the time we left, at least.
Like, fourth quarter went past midnight, and then it went into overtime, and instead of like, okay, I'll catch overtime at home, he literally stayed at the bar.
It was the fucking Broncos dude, right?
Broncos game.
Yeah, it was one of the playoff games. It was Broncos...
No, it wasn't a playoff game. Broncos didn't make
playoffs. No, it was the one that would decide if they went into the playoffs or not.
Yeah, I think it was near the end of the season.
Yeah, it was like they were wild card or some shit, right?
They finished one game out. They didn't make the playoffs. I know that.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those deciding games.
I think it was like week 14 or 15, where like every single game counts unless you're in the Browns.
Who the fuck were they playing?
Oh,
I don't want to say Chiefs because that's not right at all.
It could have been the Chiefs. They're same division.
I think it actually might have been the Chiefs.
Yeah. But anyway, people are like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't go to a sit-down restaurant. If it's a bar and like, if it's like a dive bar and people expect you there till like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Like but, 2 o'clock in the morning, but still, even if you're closed, go home.
Yeah.
Just go home. But, this guy, the same guy that we were just talking about, that Broncos fan, literally, ordered drinks after the game, after we were closed, and it went into overtime. He's like, hey, can I get another shot? Because, only guy in the fucking restaurant. Literally the only guy. I'm like, no, I can't. My manager has taken the drawer. We're closed. I can't sell alcohol after we're closed. Sorry.
That's all.
Yeah, alcohol. I gotta turn down myself because I can tell I'm
turn down myself.
But yeah, don't do that. Anyway, these 3 guys had come in to the bar at 11:45, and they ordered burgers. And now the bar, you sit really close to each other. You know, it's not even like there was distance between them, so they couldn't hear what the other guy said. You know, first guy ordered, I was like, "What do you want?" He gave me his burger. I said, "How do you want it cooked?" He said, "Well done." Second guy, same thing, well done. Third guy, I asked him what burger he wanted and then how he wanted it cooked. And he said, God, I can't get over how stupid people are. He said, "I want it cooked." I went, excuse me, what? He's like, yeah, like cooked. I'm like, oh, all right, you just heard, and his two friends turned and looked at him. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He asked you how you wanted it cooked. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm going to have to agree with these guys. What do you have? And his two friends were like, have you ever been out? He's like, yeah, dude, I go out all the time. They're like, have you ever ordered a burger? He's like, yeah, all the time. He's like, well, he's asking you how you want your burger cooked. Like medium well done. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I literally had to give him, I was like, rare is red in the middle. Medium rare is slight red, then medium is pink, and then slight pink, and then hockey puck. He ordered it well done eventually, but his friends ripped him a new one the entire time. You're not going to make it. Damn.
Yeah.
I suck. Okay. It's the same thing if you're going to a bar and you don't know what to order because you're under the age of 21 and you don't know what to drink alcohol-wise. And you're like, I don't know, what's your favorite drink? Or, I don't know, give me something fruity. It's one thing if you, kind of have a rough idea of, a flavor profile or something that you're giving me. But, know the answer to some of these questions. How do you want your burger cooked? I just don't... Gotta get this, McDonald's is the only burgers that I've ever consumed, and there's only one way that it's cooked, and that's the way it's at home, and that's really gross and puck-like. Broaden your horizons, people. Also, stop being stupid, which is impossible to tell the human race. Even we're a little stupid, but,
I've had my moments.
Oh my god, dude, all the time. But at least I'm admitting it.
Yeah. I'll admit it in the process. I'll, say a question, and, people look at me, I'm like, wow, that was a stupid question.
Yeah.
I just go with it.
Sometimes you have to. Yeah. And, I wouldn't be mad at that guy if he was like, oh, that was dumb. I should have known. Yeah, well done. I would have laughed and, joked around with the guy. I was like, it's cool, man. It's late or whatever. But he was oblivious. Oblivious. And bacon cheddar burger, does it come with cheese? Come on. Use your noodle, people. Noodle. And now in my current job, I basically do tech support, I guess, and customer service, customer relations, and the emails that I get, man. I on my Snapchat, I literally have a reading time with Blake. It's a little mini series I do, and I go through emails of people saying dumb shit where the email I had sent them literally gave them the answer to their question, but they didn't have any idea. One of the more recent ones that I remember is this woman asked, her device was broken and she wanted to return it. So I sent her an RMA, which is a Return Merchandise Authorization, for those of you guys who don't know what that is. And it basically is this list of things that they need to do and complete to return the product successfully and get their refund or their exchange or whatever. I sent her that, and she replied back, and she's like, oh, cool, this is great. Do I need a return authorization number to return my product? And literally the entire email, and this email is gigantic. So, her not reading everything, I understand, because she was just like, oh, okay, cool, he responded. But important information. The whole email is important information. And literally the first line is, here is your return authorization number. Didn't even read it. Didn't read any of it. People, for those of you who have made it past the 5th grade, read. For those of you who didn't,
you shouldn't be listening to this.
Well,
this is a little inappropriate for you guys.
I'm not saying 4-year-old or 4th graders. I'm saying illiterate adults. Go out, get some Dr. Seuss books and start teaching yourself or something. Because you gotta read, people. You gotta read. You're gonna die if you don't. I'm telling you, right now. You could purchase some product that's I don't know. It's a half and half, like it's a pill bottle that's split in half, and one of them's a lead capsule, and the other half is a multivitamin. I don't know why they'd ever sell that, but it's like a gag gift, and on the label it says, "Eat this side, don't eat this side," and you go, fuck it, and then just eat the one that looks cooler. You're dead. Look at that. I mean, you know what? Maybe it's probably better that you die. Natural selection. Darwinism, man. Maybe we didn't need you in the gene pool.
So anyway.
Speaking of which, a lot of people, that is, we don't need you in the gene pool. Let's be real. It's true. Not to people listening. Obviously, I want them in the gene pool because they're listening to our amazing podcast. But couple things off the head. Parents who don't discipline their kids when they're going apeshit in public, stop. Turn around. Go home. We don't want when he wants you in public. People who don't use your blinker.
Well.
And your life.
That's one I've kind of assimilated to.
You don't use your blinker?
In Maryland, I don't use my blinker.
Ever?
Well.
Just say fuck it.
Not ever. About half the time I don't use my blinker. Because there's on my way to most places, there's a left turn lane. There's actually 2 left turn lanes.
If it's a left turn only or a right turn only lane, you don't have to use your blinker.
Well,
we get it. You're turning left or right.
It's going into the lane. So, like, not at the light to turn left, but going into the left turn lane. Because there's 2 other lanes that are going straight, and it's coming from highway exits. So a lot of people are going, and I've just learned to just go to the left. People don't use their blinkers, and sometimes I forgot, and I'm like, oh yeah, the 7 other people in front of me also don't have their blinker on. So,
all right. I mean, use your blinkers though.
Highway driving, use your blinkers.
In general, just get in a good habit of using them.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah. Let's see. People who own vehicles that are bright pink, stop.
I don't know if I've ever seen a bright pink.
I have. Don't recommend it. Don't recommend it at all.
Ooh, that reminds me. I was on Ask Reddit the other day, and one of them was like, those of you who have been on reality TV shows, what was it really like? And somebody said, of course their answer was like, not me, but my friend. Because that's the answer to all those questions. Teachers of Reddit, not me, but a friend who's a teacher. The guy was, the guy's friend was on Pimp My Ride, and apparently they, made his car, super awesome, but didn't actually go into the car part of the car. They just put, TVs in his trunk and stuff, but the engine was still horrible, so he couldn't drive it. And apparently, Pimp My Ride did that quite often. They, didn't bother actually fixing the car. They just made it look cool.
Hilarious.
Fucking exhibit.
People who get really frustrated at the self-checkout and then yell at the people who are there to, ease everything over, but it was actually their fault. Stop. I'm looking at you, baby boomers. Be patient.
Hey, my parents are baby boomers.
Yeah, but your parents are also not assholes. And they're patient people.
That's true.
So many times have I seen people just yelling at the employee that's working there because the machine's not working. It's self-checkout. You can only blame yourself.
Well,
okay, sometimes it says you didn't put anything on the fucking basket. Alright, it's a simple fix though. Just give it 2 seconds. The woman or the guy sees the fucking light. They come over, they boop their little scan thing, and then it's done. That's it. It's fine. Relax. I see a lot of memes that are sorry this is taking so long, it'll only be another couple minutes, we'll get you all sorted, and then it's millennial, no problem, take your time, and then baby boomer is I want to see the fucking manager! Which is so true, dude. That fucking, I want to speak to your manager haircut's a real thing.
I saw a 9-year-old with that haircut this morning. The first thought, it sucks working by myself though, because I'm the only lifeguard, and I'm at a hotel pool, and that's all I'll say. And well, I don't want people like coming into my hotel.
I get it.
But
hey, you're that guy from Sqwadcast. Am I?
That'd be kind of cool though if someone.
Don't find him.
Yeah, at a hotel. So it's a lot of people coming in and out. It's not like an apartment or anything. And a 9-year-old came in with that. It's kind of, I guess, a bob.
It's like a bowl cut
bob,
but it's
like
like
bowl.
But it's like if you angled the bowl.
Yeah.
Like either way.
If
like,
you know the meme of like the 35-year-old mom on You See the Manager, you know what haircut it is.
Yeah.
And a 9-year-old had it, and in my head, I couldn't say it to anyone because I'm by myself, but in my head, I was like, wow, she's really young to ask to talk to the manager. And then I laughed out loud.
To himself.
Yep. I was sitting on my guard
and can't
chair.
even Snapchat it because his phone's ripped.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. Also, there's this, I'm going to say fat kid, but it's not a fat kid because he's like 2, so it's kind of more like chubby. And
he's still... whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's like baby fat.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's baby fat still. It's not like he's like a sumo wrestler.
It hasn't been eating.
But he was kind of fat, and he like pushed his sister, who was like 4, in off the edge. I didn't say anything because like a 2-year-old pushing a 4-year-old isn't that big of a deal because it's not like me pushing someone where like serious
pushing a
injury
4-year-old.
Yeah, pushing a 4-year-old.
Fuck you.
And. His dad was like on a reclining chair like behind him. He was like, Billy, and then in my head I was like, of course this fat kid is named Billy. Like, why wouldn't it be Billy?
It be Billy.
Yeah,
Billy the Michelin Man kid.
So there was a kid I went to elementary school with named Billy, and he had the biggest head I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
And it still comes up. My dad will still like. Because there was Wes Welker on the Broncos when he got concussed. He had the giant like padded helmet that made it look like his head was like 3 times bigger than it actually was. And my dad texted me. He's like, "Hey, is that Billy playing on the Broncos?" I was like, "Oh, Dad, you're making jokes about my elementary school friend."
Dad jokes at their finest.
Anyway, well, I have another story. We kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, a little bit.
I think this is just like a
this is just talking,
potpourri episode.
Oh,
I like that word. Not the smelly stuff. I like the smelly stuff, but it's not. Anyway.
Yeah. I used to work. My shortest job stint was in an admissions office for college, and it was like a job because of another job that I got it. Yeah, so it wasn't like I got the job and 2 months later I was like, I'm out. It was just I was doing my main job, which was giving tours, and then the admissions office wanted to work with tour guides and vice versa because we're so intertwined, but they felt like we were really separated, so they wanted to work out. And so it was kind of like a side job, I guess. And I was, part of it was being on phones and talking to parents / prospective students about the enrollment process. And
Tim's
if you
dying right now. I don't know.
And if you send a transcript to a school, whether it's high school or you're transferring or whatever, it has to be an official transcript. That's a rule with every single college in the universe. I assume alien colleges follow that rule. I don't know, man. But you have to say it has to be.
You need transcript from Earth Planet 6321. Scanning. It seems this. With the fucking blorp noises. It seems this general ed does not transfer to the School of Intergalactic Meat Mops.
Meat Mops?
I don't know, man.
Anyway.
Sounded really Rick and Morty-esque.
So you have to send your official transcript. It needs to be mailed from the high school or college to us, and that's how we evaluate it. This mom called me at 4:50 on a Friday, and our office closed at 5, And it was like, oh, I was wondering if you received my daughter's transcript. Which, that's not a bad question, because, like, if it's been a few days and you haven't heard anything, then yes, you want to follow up. So she did that, and I was like, well, let me check real quick. And I called over to the transcript people. I was like, hey, did you get a transcript from... And they were like,
That was their name?
Yep, that was their name. And they were like, oh, no transcript today. I was like, it might come in on Monday. So I went back to the lady. I was like, okay, so, like, we don't have it yet. Like, try again on Monday. And she's like, well, like, we sent it a while ago. And I was like, sorry, sometimes mail happens. I don't know. Like, I'm just here to receive the transcript. I don't know how it's shipped or what happens on the way from somewhere to somewhere. And she's like, no, we, like, emailed it. And I was like, oh, lady. Like, I was like, you can't email transcripts. It needs to be official. And she was like, well, we emailed it, and we want it to be evaluated because we have a decision to make, like, by next week. Because it was near, like, the deadline times. And I was like, you need to send your official transcript. She's like, well, I can't do it now because it's so late. I can't contact the school. And I was like, now you know how I feel when you call at 4:50 on a Friday afternoon. Mm-hmm. All right. And she was like, so what can we do? I was like, mail it today. Like, so put it in your mailbox this afternoon, and hopefully we get it early next week. And she's like, well, like, how do we know? Like, why can't you just use the email one? I was like, because it's not an official transcript. Like, I was like, we can't accept electronic copies.
You can't scan a official document. It's not like I can scan my passport and they'll be like, oh, okay, this is legit. It's like I could Photoshop that shit easily.
Yeah. So I got off the phone with her at 5:10 on a Friday.
Yeah.
It was me and 2 admissions counselors and nobody else in the office. And I walked out and they were like, we're sorry. She was like, thanks for being patient and not, like, yelling at her. I was just like, I just need to go home. Like,
that also is another thing. Dear anyone ever trying to contact any business at all ever, check their business hours before you call, okay? I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls at 4:56 p.m. when we close at 5. Hey, I have this really long, complicated question to ask you that's going to take 45 minutes of your time. No. Stop. Please. Call back tomorrow. Email me. I'll get back to you. I promise. I might not. But there's a chance I will get back to you. I just don't want to be stuck longer than I need to be because you have some issue and, well, I have no other time to call you because I also work 9 to 5. Yep, just like everyone else. Well, I mean, not everyone else, but like just like most people. You have a 9 to 5 job and so do I. Don't call me outside of business
9 to 5? What's that
or
like?
8 to 6. Or 8 to 5, whatever.
8 to 8.
Or 8 to 8.
Which is what I just ended 12 weeks of.
Yeah. I mean, but technically that was 2 separate jobs. Just at the same place.
Yeah, technically. I had a long-term sub position, and then I worked in evenings. So I had about an hour and a half in between the school day and then the evening shift. But then I was in the play, and I had to be there at 3 o'clock for rehearsals until 6. And then, no, until 5, and then we had a dinner break, and then rehearsed again from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, don't do shit last minute right before, like, people close. Also, don't get mad at the people that you're talking to over the phone or...
Unless you're talking to Comcast. Be mad at them.
Yeah, all the time.
Be mad at them before you call.
Yeah, and
Get
Walmart,
in the zone.
too.
I've never called Walmart.
Neither have I, but, like, it's Walmart. They're just, like, the second Antichrist of, like, the company world. It's like Comcast, Walmart. I feel like there's another one that's, like, right up there with Comcast. BG&E is pretty fucking horrible to deal with.
But they're not, like...
They're pretty passive, though. You can't really, like, call them, like, my fucking gas is out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send someone right out. It's not like, well, I'm experiencing slow gas... slow gas speeds. Sir, did you try Mexican? No! But, like, I call Comcast because surprise, my internet's not working all the time because Comcast.
Yep.
And then they just, like, rip you a new one. And, okay, I guess this is kind of converse on the other side. Unless you are, like, the owner of the business, as a customer service rep, don't fucking also get mad at the customers, too. You know, don't yell at them. I've gotten yelled at, like, 2 or 3 times by Comcast. Like, representatives or whatever. They're fucking horrible people. Oh, DMV. Or MVA, whichever one you want to...
Well, okay. That's... Well, at least in my experience.
That place is soul draining.
Yes, because it takes so long, but I feel like once you get to the person, depending on the person, it could be a horrible person working. Once you get to the person, things move fairly fast. Because I just got a new license for the state, from my old state to my new state. Yeah. And I went in and I had everything, and I went up to the desk and I was like, oh, I'm here to switch licenses from that state to this state. And they're like, okay. And then I sat down for 3 hours. And then I went up to the person, I had everything set, and they're like, okay, picture, that'll be, it was like $70 or something. Mm-hmm. They were like, $70, and I swiped my card, and they took everything. They were like, da-da-da-da-da, here's a piece of paper, that's your license until you get your new official license, and you're good to go. I was like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, you're good. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I wish I didn't just sit for 3 hours, but...
Yeah. It seems like the ratio of time waiting to actual time to completion, just, it's not a...
Also, stores that don't handle issues in store.
Now, do explain.
I've experienced this with both Comcast and Sprint. Comcast, I went in because I moved apartments. I was splitting the bill with my roommate, but it was in my name, and then I moved. So I wanted to move, like, keep everything I had, just move it to an apartment. So I went in the store.
New apartment.
Yeah, new apartment, yeah. So I went in the store and said, hey, I'm moving. What do I do? And they're like, oh, just call and we'll set everything up. I was like, but I'm in the store with the box and wires and stuff now. Why can't you help me out now? And they're like, well, just call and go through your account and we'll set everything up. So I did that.
Why?
Yeah, I was like, I did that, got into the new apartment, and then apparently they gave me a new thing, and then they're like, just go back to the store and return their old box. And I was like, well, my old box is in the apartment, because originally you told me I could leave it there so my roommates can start a new account with the equipment in their name, and then I have my account in my name. And then I had to go back to the store to drop off the equipment. I was like, why couldn't you just do everything at once? Tell me what I need to do in the store, in person, and everything will be fine.
I feel like I've probably had that problem happen at least once. Yeah. I just can't recall it because I've probably repressed the memory.
It just happened to me with Sprint, too. I went in and said, hey, my phone has water damage, and they're like, do you have insurance? I was like, well, my dad's the account holder, so I don't know. And they're like, well, we can't get in unless he's here. I was like, he's in a different state. And they're like, oh, well, are you an authorized user? And I was like, I don't think so, but I don't know. And they, like, took my phone number. They're like, oh, you're not a authorized user. I was like, okay, well, what can I do to fix the situation? They're like, well, you can go online, or he can go online and authorize you. And I was like, well, he can't do that because he's, like, at dinner right now. And they're like, well, once he's able to. I was like, why can't you just help me out right now in person?
It's like, he's on the phone with me right now. Yeah.
I literally called...
Have him say the words, he's an authorized user, and now shut the fuck up and let me do what I need to do.
Yeah. Instead, my dad had to go online. I literally called my dad using their display phones. I had to pull it from the wire thingy off the display and call my dad using that, and then interrupt his dinner and explain to him the situation. And I was like, my dad is literally online using one of your phones in the store. Why can't you do anything? They were like, well, everything needs to be online. It's like store policy. I was like, then why do you have a store?
Most places, why do you have a store, though?
Yeah.
At this point, you know?
Like, I like, well, usually like talking to a person because like sometimes over the phone or email doesn't really get my emotions across correctly. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sound too aggressive via email. Mm-hmm.
That's what I deal with all the time. I feel like people are always mad at me by the emails that they send. And 9 times out of 10, they probably are. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But, like...
So I sent my vice principal an email. Because when I was subbing, like, they had monthly meetings that I had to go to. Like, letting know how the teachers and stuff and blah, 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 blah. So one day, it was a scheduled meeting day. According to the teacher I was subbing for, I had it scheduled, and it said meeting. But I didn't know anything, and the other teacher didn't know anything, so I was like, So I emailed my vice principal. I was like, hey, do we have a meeting today? According to this schedule, it says we do. He emailed back saying this is a PLC day. And I have no idea what that means, because I'm subbing. I asked the other teacher, who it's his first year, and he was like, I don't know what that means either. So I went to our paraeducator, who has worked at the school for 30 years, and I said, hey, our vice principal said it's a PLC day. What does that mean, and what do I do? And he was like, I don't know what PLC means, so I would just do nothing. And I was like, you've worked here 30 years and don't know what it means? Then why is it being told to me? Because I don't know what it means. I'm just subbing. So I didn't do anything. I still don't know what PLC means. But I didn't do anything. Didn't get in trouble.
Interesting. I thought that was going to go somewhere like, my vice principal got really mad at me because he thought I was really angry via email. But in reality, I was just asking a question. Yeah. I just said, hey, can I lick your tip? And, no.
Oh. My principal he wasn't mad at me, but he was like concerned with me.
Concerned
with
you? it wasn't suicidal.
It wasn't like, hey, you need to it was just like, hey, like, I noticed something was wrong. Can you explain what you did and can you fix it kind of deal? Like, more of, like, concern than, like, upset. And he was like, hey, like, this girl's grade is, like, low and it can't be below a certain grade. Like, can you fix it? I was like, yeah, it shouldn't be that low because I give all my students fairly similar grades. I was like, but I'll go in to do it. So what happened was our unit was out of 30 points, and instead of putting 30 out of 30, I put 3 out of 30. So her grade dropped from a 95 to a 47.
Whoops.
And I switched that, and I emailed my principal back. I was like, hey, I accidentally wrote 3 out of 30 instead of 30 out of 30. Sorry about that. And he was like, oh, it's cool, it happens. And he's like, thanks for fixing it. I was like, yep. She does not deserve a 47. I was like, yeah.
Oops. Let's see.
Teacher props.
I feel like this is just going to turn into more of a rant about things for people not to do. If you call a tech support line or anything, I'm only speaking about this from experience, or you're have some kind of question or whatever. 1, either have your questions ready. 2, if it pertains to an order number, have the fucking order number ready. Oh yeah, sure, not a problem. I can check on the status of that. What's your order number? I have no idea.
Oh, what's it say on the paper? Hold on.
No, not even that. They have to go through a fucking email. They're like, oh, give me a second. And it's like, 6 minutes later because,
scroll.
Yeah, like, they have to search through their 9,000 million emails that, are from fucking LinkedIn and Bed Bath & Beyond and fucking who knows what else, And just to find our email that we sent them, that's annoying. I also had another thing that's really aggravating that people do all the time. Fuck, what was it?
Yeah, that annoys me so much.
Had something to do with
this. Has slowly
something
turned
along
into the airing
the
of
lines
the
of reading, I think. What was it? It's not reading, but it's something very similar. Listening. Every time I answer the phone, I say, either good morning or good afternoon. This is blank tech support. My name is Blake. How may I help you?
I thought you were blanking your name. I was like...
No. This is blank tech support. my name is Blake. How can I help you? And they
Blake
go, oh,
works-
is this blank? Like referring to the company name. I'm like, yeah. Did you miss that whole first part? Like, you hear someone answer, say, good morning and good afternoon or whatever, and then give you the title of the place that they work at and then their name, and then you go, oh, all right, is this the title of the place you work at? Yeah, it is, surprisingly enough.
I actually just had that happen this morning.
See?
I guess supervisor would be the best term. There's like there's two guys in charge of the pool I work at, and then there's management of, because I work for a company, like a lifeguarding company, and then we get scattered to different pools throughout the area. So there's the guy in charge, and then the guy right above him, who are both in charge of my pool. So the guy above, like I don't know, supervisor, whatever.
Some guy higher than Tim.
Yeah, some guy higher than me. Probably in more ways than one. Anyway,
Wow.
he came in today. I saw him like a week ago. I was introduced to him like outside of work, and so I knew who he was. It wasn't just like he just randomly showed up today. But he showed up because we had a problem with our hot tub. So him and my other supervisor were working on that while I was guarding the lives of fat kids. And he
Baby fat.
yeah,
No.
baby fat, not like diabetes fat.
Maybe onset child diabetes, but that's yet to be seen.
Anyway.
Diabetes.
So yeah, he came in and he was like, "So how's everything going?" I was like, "Pretty good." And he's like, "Oh, pretty good?" I was like, "Yes, pretty good." What I just said. Like, I know in a pool it's kind of hard to hear, but he was literally right next to me. I was in my chair, like not like a typical tall lifeguard chair, like a regular like chair by the
Long
side
chair.
of the pool. Yeah, long
Yeah.
chair. And he was literally like leaning next to me, and he was like, "Oh, how are things going?" I was like, "Oh, pretty good." "Oh, pretty good."
Yep. That's also another thing that really
I just
bothers me.
lied.
Every time I call anything, like if it's a customer support line or something like that, they go, oh, blah, 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 this is, Ted. How can I help you today? I go, oh, how you doing, Ted? Pause. I wait. They're usually caught off guard by this because no one does it except me, apparently. And they go, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks, man. Thanks for asking. I'm like, that's good to hear. So, here's my problem, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. But, it's a human, dude. He's not a robot. Like, you're not calling the guy that the song Mr. Roboto was about. Like, that's an actual human being. Like, hey, man, how you doing today? Horrible? That sucks, man. You want to talk about it a little? Then we'll get to my issue? Or whatever. Like, people call me and they're just like, oh, all right, here's my problem. Fix it. I'm like, it's a nice day. What do you think? But then there's also some people that, like, I'm not, like, opposed to people getting too friendly, but once you start giving me, like, a lot of personal background history, I really don't care. There's been a couple of cases of this, actually. This is a good one. I forgot about this story until right now.
I'm just thinking, I just say "Good, how are you" to literally everything someone says to me. Like, no matter the question, I just answer "Good, how are you?"
You want this dick? Good, how are you?
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
How do you want your burger cooked? Good, how are you?
And anyway, so you're one of those assholes that can't order a burger. I got it. Okay.
No, dude, just any greeting, just, "Hey, how are you? What's up?
Good, how are you?"
What's going on? What's going on? Good, how are you? That's me. Like, I just say "Good, how are you?"
I had this one guy at one point. He was like old as shit. He called. He was like, he must have been like 70, 80, 90. I don't know. He was old. He was up there. Okay. And he's like, we're talking through his like technical support problems, and I'm like getting them all sorted out and all that stuff. And he's just like, oh, okay. So like while we wait for this, have you ever heard of like butterball turkeys? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, you have? Yeah.
Go on.
And he's like, would you believe me if I told you that I'm the guy who does the butterball turkeys? I'm like, yeah, I would totally believe that because I don't know who you are. And he's like, yeah, I run the Butterball turkey farms, and I'm like, you know, I do this, that, and the other thing, in like Idaho or wherever the fuck he was. And he was like talking about all this like turkey shenanigans. He was like, yeah, so like, you know, we keep them all fresh. I'm like, dude,
shenanigans.
Literally 15 to 20 minutes of this dude just telling me about fucking Butterball turkeys. And he's like, so next time you pick up some Butterball turkey, just remember of me. I'm like, I can't forget you ever at this point.
I'm just thinking of turkey shenanigans.
Turkey shenanigans.
I'm just thinking like 3 turkeys just like planning a prank against another turkey.
Pudgy Pudge, we're waiting for that animation. And then there was another guy who was talking to me about this diet that pertains to my work. And he was literally telling me all of this, like, hippie bullshit, like, I don't even know how to explain it. He's like, oh, do you know the added benefits of, like, swallowing rocks? Or whatever the fuck it was, right? It was, like,
it's nature,
something,
man.
like, really out there. He's like, yeah, you get this, like, huge burst of energy for, like, 6 seconds, and then you, like, ride the wave for, like, 18 hours, and you don't eat. I'm like, wow, you're crazy. Literally talked to me about this shit for 45 minutes. He's like, oh, last thing. And then he would tell me something. And then he'd say, oh, last thing. Every time. Like, dude, I have other things to be doing. Probably not really, but, like, maybe I have other things I need to be doing. It's just really aggravating. Like, you're taking up someone else's time, too, to just tell them mind-numbing bullshit. Like, if I solved your problem, or if I didn't solve your problem, and now you're, like, gonna work on the next step or something like that, hang up the fucking phone. I don't want to, like, talk to you at all. We're not pals. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you look like. I have your address and credit card information, which is hilarious, but, like, I don't know you personally. I don't know if you're, like, an avid rock painter or something, you know? Like, I just don't know who you are. So we're not friends. Unless it actually is a friend that calls me, and then we ended up having a chat on the phone. Over the work phone. But, like, that's, you know, very niche. Moral of the story, say hi to the person that you're talking to. Make sure they're having a good day. Let them answer. Don't say, oh, good, how are you? So my problem is, don't know. Good, how are you doing today? Pause. Wait for it. Ah, response. Cool, that's good to hear. Continue. Tell them your problem. And also have the problem and your order number and any pertinent information that has anything to do with the problem ready in front of you. One of the people has called me once, and I'm like, oh, okay, do you have an order number handy? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, well, do you have a name, email address, an address, something, anything?
No.
No. The worst part is they're like, oh, yeah, the name is under Salvadoria. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, literally, I don't speak Spanish. I took French, but, like, it's literally like Maria Castillo de Fuego Mariachi Margarita, or whatever the fuck, right?
You literally said, like, Maria Eggs on Fire. Like,
yep. Maria Eggs on Fire.
Huevos en fuego.
But, like, literally, but, okay, said it a lot faster than I did, right? You know, it could have been anything that she said in Spanish, but said it fluently. And I have no fucking idea what she said out loud. And she was a fluent Spanish speaker. She was, like, after I found her order by, not even by her email, by the thing, like the second half of it, because she ordered it for the school she worked for, but she didn't order it herself. It was the fucking, like, so it was whatever. Found out they were part of California. I was like, oh, of course. Like, if she called anyone else in California, that guy would have been able to probably be like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, no problem. Because, like, everyone in California apparently speaks Spanish. I don't know if you knew that. That's, like, a thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know how California borders Mexico?
Yeah,
I had no idea they speak Spanish.
Yeah, but, I mean, like, it's a thing. Like, a lot of people in California are, like, expected to know Spanish, which is cool, right? I don't I mean, I should have learned a lot of Spanish. Okay, I'm just saying. Like, it would have made sense.
Cities in California.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Look,
San Diego, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't know any other Spanish.
City of Angels, man.
Yeah, the City of Angels.
Eh.
No, like the baseball team, the Angels.
Yeah,
they're the Los Angeles Angels.
The City of Angels. Yeah,
City of Angels.
But yeah, like don't do that shit to me either. Like, assume I'm some fucking redneck white guy which I'm not, but like, assume I don't know how to speak fluent Spanish and know exactly what you said. I mean, she said it with an accent and everything. Oh, there's another group of people that need to go fuck themselves.
Blake's finger is really close to my
eye. Yeah, I did, sorry. Anyone who you are full-blooded American, like, okay, maybe your parents are, like, Italian or some shit, but, like... Tim just did the Italian meme. I'm really done with him. But okay,
I love that meme,
not your parents.
You can like bust it out at any time. It's a great meme.
It is a good meme. Your parents are Italian, but they don't. Well, they speak Italian, but they weren't born in like Italy or anything like that. But they're your grandparents were, or something like that. You know, they're like from Sicily or some shit. And you, who grew up in fucking, I don't know, what's like the
Kentucky?
No, but like. The most basic, boring fucking place on earth. Here,
South Dakota.
There you go.
Because it literally took Obama 7.5 years to visit South Dakota.
Here. Let's go. The most boring place in the United States. Lubbock, Texas. There you go. There's North Las Vegas.
How was North Las Vegas in San Bernardino? I thought San Bernardino was like hopping.
10 most boring cities in America. Let's click on this. Let's figure it out together.
Oh, there it is.
Huh. Whatever, dude. Mesa, Arizona. That sounds horrible.
There's literally 4 places from Texas. Texas is so big. I met a dude from Texas once, and he said it took him 14 hours to drive across Texas, and there's literally nothing for like 2 hours at a time. It'd be like, city, dirt for 2 hours.
A cactus.
City,
2 hours.
Yeah, dirt for 2 hours.
Well, okay, so you're from fucking Mesa, Arizona, or...
You're from Table, Arizona.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, I guess? Yeah. So you're from Fort Wayne, Indiana, okay? There's fucking... where was I going with this?
I don't know,
What was I talking about 2 seconds ago?
Spanish people? Italians?
Oh, yeah, Italians. You're from fucking... whatever. Irving, Texas. I'm looking at this top 10 list. Lubbock, Texas. Whatever. You're from these places, not at all from Sicily or whatever. Haven't even fucking visited Italy, or if you're from fucking Brazil or wherever. Some place that's not America, right? And your parents don't even speak the native language of your grandparents, but your grandparents do, and they've lost the majority of their accent because they've been here for fucking 56 years or whatever. And then you go ahead and you're like, oh man, you know what I could really use right now? I could really use some Parmigiano on my spaghetti. That sounds delightful. Don't fucking do that. Remove yourself from the fucking gene pool. It's so aggravating. So aggravating. Like, I get that you're trying to, like, be authentic to the, you know, the culture or whatever, but, like, don't drop the fucking accent in the middle of a sentence that you're speaking in English. Like, if you're speaking Spanglish, that's fine. Like, it works, right? You know, yo quiero mason jar, whatever. Like, that's fine, right? But, man, you know, some fresh mozzarella would be really good right now. You just did the fucking Italian meme again.
But I, like, backhanded it. So, like, if someone did that, I would backhand Italian meme them.
That is the most aggravating thing, I think. And it's all the fucking, like, food videos. Like, anyone who's, like, trying to, like, teach you how to cook. Rachel Ray, probably. I'm looking at you. I think she does that shit a lot.
I saw a
that
parody.
Shit is so annoying.
I saw a parody of them. First of all, there's one. We showed you
the GIF recipes one.
Yeah, there was
one
one
like
of
folding air.
Yeah, it was like air. It was like how to prep air. But I saw one even better. It was like chicken parmesan. Like, it was a legit dish, but they like used the worst terms possible to use it. Like, you know how you flatten chicken? Instead of said like flatten or beat chicken, it said make chicken pancake. And then it like you dip it in eggs, and it was like dip chicken in unborn babies. It's like an actual GIF recipe video though. They just use like the worst terms to describe
That's
the
funny
food.
As shit, actually.
I was dying laughing at it.
But yeah, if you're part of any of these groups of people who come in 5 minutes before a restaurant closes, and then they're like, "Are you guys still open?" Yeah. Are you guys still open? Yeah, but for like 3 more minutes. And they're like, "Oh, good, we can order food." No, you can't. You can walk the fuck out of the restaurant and get the fuck out. People who don't have their order numbers ready. People who fucking have become Italian in the middle of a sentence and then stop becoming Italian.
Yep, backhand Italian meme coming at you.
People who don't discipline their kids in public because, like, they want them to be their own free spirit and let them make their own choices. Or whatever the fuck you're letting those kids do. Don't do that. I mean, I'm not saying beat the kid. Tim was kind of like... Tim was looking at me kind of funny. I wanted to make that clear. Like, I'm not advocating child assault or whatever you call it. What is it called?
Abuse.
Child assault. Whatever, man. Child assault sounds a whole lot cooler.
There's like discipline, and then there's like
beating. Yeah, like flick your kid on the top of the head. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop crying.
Well, maybe if you learn to talk right, Dad.
Do you have to go to bed at 3 p.m.? Shouts to Crystalia. And Anna Kendrick this episode. Anna Kendrick, if you ever listen to this podcast, tweet at me again. That was pretty cool.
Also, I am waiting for the sequel to your book, Theoretical Sex Engineers. If you read Scrappy Little Nobody, you'll understand what that means.
I should probably read the book. She's probably like one of my favorite famous
It's a great
people.
book. I am, once I'm done that, I'm going to finish.
Literally
Hey, I got you her.
Wow.
Well, I did.
Hello! I am Russian bride. It's a Funko Pop thing of Becca from Pitch Perfect. So, thanks, Tim, for that. It's still on my desk because Anna Kendrick's awesome. But, like, shout-outs to all these people that we always mention. Crystalia, Idris Elba, of course.
Yeah.
If you want to ever come on the show anytime, just let us know.
Open invite.
Yeah.
Invite.
And that kind of goes for viewers too, I guess. Like if you just
this is an open forum usually, even though 7 out of the 11 episodes is just me, Blake, and Ryan.
Yeah.
It is an open forum.
It's okay. We're both pretty bad at English today.
I'm a little drunk. I was
not. We still
drunk.
have. Oh, never mind. Spoiler.
Yeah, man.
I didn't say anything.
Spoilers for future episode.
Okay, well, Tim just gave it away. I didn't. It's his podcast, not mine. You can give it away if you want. Still got to release 1.5.
I hope I didn't lose the topics. My topics are on my phone.
Oh, yeah, no, those are gone forever.
Ooh.
I was actually thinking about that. That was like the first thing. I didn't even care about like your photos that you may have saved or anything. I was like, oh, fuck, the list. The list is gone.
No. Oh, man, Treble Clef dude. Oh, no.
Oh, wow, he might actually be gone
I think
forever.
He's backed up somewhere, though.
Okay, thank God.
I have had the same, except for a 2-month period in 2014. Yeah.
We knew each other when it wasn't Treble Clef, dude.
Yeah, I think and I was also talking to Richard at the desk when it happened.
Uh-huh.
You were probably there too. You were always at the desk.
Yeah, I was.
Anyway, I have had the same phone since February of, well, not same phone background, since February of 2010. And it is a priority when I ask, whenever I get a new phone, I'm like, can you transfer my pictures so I can keep this photo? And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. And
Not as nudies.
well,
those are backed up.
so
on the cloud.
my background is
those nudies.
is a treble clef, but I drew it kind of fat for those of you who know what a treble clef looks like. You know how it kind of loops around, right? I drew it kind of like fatter, and my friend, one of my best friends in high school, we were doing a musical together, and this was like in between scenes. We were in the dressing room when I did it, and I was like, it kind of looks like a Disney character. So he literally like drew eyes in a top hat and like Mickey Mouse gloves on this treble clef, and then I took a picture of it, made it my phone background, and then it got erased. So it is, I think, on mine and his phone, and it has been my background since February of 2010, and then I lost my phone because I didn't lose my phone. I restarted my phone for like an update or something, and like none of my pictures were there. And I was like, oh no, Treble Clef Dude. He's named Treble Clef Dude. And so I had to,
Find him.
I had to use a different background, and then go through everything. I think it ended up being on my dad's computer back home that I like found him again. So he was in a coma for 2 months, and then he was back. So hopefully he's still on my dad's computer. Or somewhere backed up. In the cloud.
With those nudies.
Yep.
Hack him. Emma Watson the shit out of him.
Wow. I want to see... Well, I don't want to see. I want to hear about a male nude leak. Because I feel like it's always just girls.
It is. Always.
Like guys are handsome.
Yeah.
Penises are weird. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like,
but, you
Brett
never
Morin says, unfinished aliens.
Yeah.
Bah, bah, bah.
God.
I feel like some of you think I have a weird dick. It's not the case.
But yeah. I never hear about like a male celebrity having nudes leaked.
Yeah. I feel like it probably exists, right?
I mean, it has to exist. Guys are naked too.
Yeah. I just don't think we take as many nudes of ourselves as...
We don't take nudes. I think we...
Just go on chat roulette and fucking jack off.
Chat roulette, wow.
I mean, not all of us. I didn't mean to say we.
Yeah.
As in, like...
We as a...
Like, Tim and I
group.
go on to chat roulette and fucking back-to-back just... fucking whack the weasel. But, like, that's not... It's not what we do.
Yeah, whack the weasel.
Hey, man, look, I'm... trying to make it bright and colorful for all the kids listening.
Go
Paint a vivid picture.
Whack the weasel.
Yeah, I know. Got those large mallets next to us. Bah! Bah!
Whack-a-mole.
Well, yeah, like a whack-a-mole, but it's like a weasel because it's more weasel-shaped than it is mole-shaped. Or like a naked mole rat, depending on your
One of my first
habits.
stuffed animals is a weasel, and my dad thinks it's a polar bear.
Wow, we need to end this
And
episode.
is
Neither of us can talk.
This is a family debate that is still going on.
To this day.
To this day, I still named Weasel, by the way. I know. I'm either like really bad or like really clever with names. There's no like in between. Like I have a stuffed animal dog named Snuffles because I thought that was a fun name. I could just name him Dog or Yellow Dog, but nope. Went Snuffles. I have a little teddy bear named Catherine after my grandmother because I was young. Peter. Could just name him Penguin. No.
But it is a penguin. You don't name something penguin.
I named my Weasel.
I mean, yeah, and hindsight's pretty 50-50 on that one, or 2020. Hindsight's 50-50, man,
God.
you know? It's just like how, what was that fucking, those two old sayings that you threw together? What was that shit?
I said even a blind squirrel is right twice a day.
Yeah, there you go. Even a
And
blind
then
squirrel
I
is right
killed
twice a day.
Blake and Ryan.
Yeah, I died.
Both of them.
I'm now
took
Jesus. I
that-
resurrected
That
zombie
sigh
Jesus.
of annoyance, just
Mhm.
that.
That was actually my soul leaving my body.
Yeah.
That was the sound of my soul leaving my body.
Yep. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I know when I'm being stupid, and I do it on purpose for the sake of reactions.
Uh-huh.
There's sometimes where I'm actually just stupid. And
That's what he says.
yeah, but I see to do something well, like to teach or be funny or tech or whatever you do, you have to know how to do it badly
Mm-hmm.
to do
Is
it well.
it plugged in? Oh, fuck. It wasn't plugged in.
Did you try turning it on and turning it off, or turning it off and turning it on again? IT Crowd, great show. It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's British, but hilarious.
What are your thoughts on Silicon Valley?
I haven't watched it.
I think it's horrible.
Yeah, I heard it's really good. Reddit television likes it. I've never seen it though. I heard Veep is pretty good too. But my mom didn't like it when it first came out. But then again, my mom's not the best person to go off of.
Yeah.
Me and my mom have extremely different tastes.
Your mom doesn't really like...
She doesn't really like HBO in general.
She doesn't like anything that's, like, not Law and Order, I feel like.
She doesn't really watch all of it. She watches
Like, she's
Scandal.
not going to watch Archer because, like,
Oh,
it's
no.
too...
Yeah, my mom's not...
quote-unquote graphic. You
What?
know?
Well, raunchy, I was
Raunchy,
gonna
yeah.
say. I was watching last night. I was watching Nocturnal Missions on FX.
Oh.
Yeah. It was the Sea Tunt episode,
Oh, yeah.
and then it went into Archer Vice because it was like 5 episodes in a row,
Uh-huh.
and I fell asleep during Vice. But yeah. 2 more seasons. They're going to end at 10.
Huh.
According to Adam Reed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody get caught up on Game of Thrones because that's coming up soon. I can almost guarantee that we'll be talking about...
Oh, I was going to try to...
Background noise?
Yeah,
Okay,
and
go
then
ahead.
you just stopped talking. I was like, well, this is just
Guaranteed
awkward.
that we'll probably be talking about the first episode, probably when that comes out at some point in July.
Eat yourself.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I had a distinct feeling.
Instead of Peter Dinklage,
Yeah.
Idris
Yeah,
Elba.
no,
He's not
I-
even on Game of Thrones.
No, he's not.
It just works.
Is there any other shows that are coming up soon that we'll probably be talking about in the near future?
I don't know. Well, I'm caught up on Dreamland. I'm waiting for you and Ryan to catch up on Dreamland. Archer Dreamland, not the show Dreamland.
Because it's also a thing.
I'm just saying, don't want to confuse the people.
The people.
The people in the cloud, as my dad would say.
Yep.
My dad is like either spot on, like he's hip and knows like everything, and he'll have the like witty one-liners, and then sometimes he'll just be a dad.
Yeah. So all the time.
But he's also like 2 years from retiring, so he can be a dad if he wants.
Yeah. I feel like there's a couple of things that are coming up, but I just don't. Oh, Defenders. That's coming out
that's
soon.
August. I need to watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Season 3 came out.
I still have to watch fucking Guardians 2.
Oh, you haven't seen Guardians 2 yet?
No, because we didn't see it that one
Oh.
Tuesday, and then
I saw it.
yeah, was it good?
It was.
Good.
It was very solid.
Should probably watch it. Got Amazing Homecoming coming out soon.
Yep.
It's like
Homecoming.
a month from now.
July 7th.
There you go.
17.
So about a month. We got there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, things are happening.
Yeah.
Ragnarok,
we
we make it that far.
We just watched a teaser, I guess, of
Oh yeah, there's a
Voldemort movie. Apparently, I don't know if that was real or not. I mean, it looks
I'm
pretty
also,
legit.
don't
Kind
have
of
a
Harry
phone,
Pottered
so-
out.
Yeah, Harry Pottered out.
Not really. I didn't watch Fantastic Beasts.
It was alright.
Not really.
I'm
that
looking forward to
interested.
it because like Eddie Redmayne is really good in most of his movies.
Yeah.
He's
Except that one.
And Jupiter Ascending. That movie was horrible. according to Reddit. I never seen either. But when you cast Channing Tatum as the lead,
as anything, Red Dawn. Ugh.
He wasn't in Red Dawn.
He was in the remake of Red Dawn. He absolutely was.
Channing Tatum?
Wasn't he?
No.
Oh, here we go.
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, was it Chris Hemsworth?
It was Chris Hemsworth and Josh Peck.
Oh my god, it was. I remember Josh Peck.
Yeah,
it was Chris Hemsworth.
I think it was like right after the first Thor came out, though, so like people didn't really know who he was.
Thank God.
Yeah,
that's why they. Fun fact: that's why they released House at the End of the Street after Mockingbird, or no, Mockingjay, or was it the first one?
Mockingbird. Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. I don't remember if it was after,
I think it was after maybe the first
Hunger Games or something. Like, they waited until the Hunger Games became, because they knew she was going to be popular in it.
After Silver Linings Playbook, too.
Or maybe it was after Silver Linings. I think it was after.
I think because
it was definitely
House on the End of the Street is, like, fairly
old.
Yeah.
It's old.
So Silver Linings was 2013, I think.
But Silver Linings was after...
Was it? I don't know. I should know. I'm a Jennifer Lawrence guy.
God damn it. Stop hitting the fucking seat.
According to Reddit, she's gone through the cycle of being really well loved to now being really well hated.
Wow.
And
2012 for Silver Linings.
Okay, so maybe she won the Oscar in 2013. Oh, 2013.
No, 2012.
Oh, 2012.
So they came out at the same time. So then... No, that's not how you spell house. God damn it.
Click, 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 click.
This all came out in 2012. What the fuck?
Man, J-Law.
This was September.
So 2012 was the year J-Law was in every movie ever made.
Apparently.
Every year, there's one actor who's just in every movie that comes out that year. Last year was Anna Kendrick. Mm-hmm. She was in 6 movies. The year before that was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, I think we need to end this.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Butter schnitzel? What did you say?
I don't even know what I said. I think I said like butter dick. I don't know.
Wiener schnitzel?
Wiener schnitzel.
Okay, that's the end of this episode.
Until next time.